Divine Digital Tutorial Series, Using Overlays to Create Custom Paper with Royanna Fritschmann, www.divinedigital.com. Hi, this is Royanna Fritschmann with Divine Digital. Today I'm going to give you a tutorial in making custom papers for your designs and your layouts. I get asked quite often, how do you use all those beautiful overlays that you create? And how do you use an overlay that's in a JPG format or PNG format? Well, today I'm going to show you. I'm going to start in Photoshop, and I use Photoshop CS3. I will be transferring over to CS4 here shortly, but I'm in CS3 currently. And I'm going to create a new file. So I go File, New, and I've got my settings already set up. So I'm going to create a 12 by 12 and a 300 dpi resolution with a transparent background. So here we've got our workspace. And you'll see behind this workspace I've got several overlays that I've pulled up. And I've pulled up PNGs and JPG formats. So I'm going to start with a color. And I think we're going to go for some type of really hot looking pink. And I want more berries, so let's go for a real pretty berry color. And we're going to go ahead and fill our space with the berry. And now I'm going to pull in my first overlay. I've got this overlay. It's from my new Jazzy Jane line. And I'm going to pull that in. And you'll see there's a lot of depth in the overlay. And it's in a JPG format. So now I'm going to use my different tools. In this case, we're going to go to some blending tools here and change the layer styles to really pick up some color and whatnot. And I'm going to add some shadowing first, and then we'll go in and change the different layering options. So I'm just going to give it some inner shadow, and this is just going to give me some like dark edges once we change the blending mode here. So we've changed the edges on that overlay, and now we're going to bring up some color. So that's nice and bright. And here, why don't we change the fill a little bit here so we get a little more depth of color. And I'm going to close that original overlay because we're done with it now. And here I've got another JPG, and this one is like a folded paper, so we're going to put that one on top. And we've got, like I said, another JPG, and we're going to change the blending on that to like a hard light. And we're going to change the opacity on that. And this gives it kind of a little bit of depth to make it look like a folded paper. And we'll change the fill on that as well. So you can just barely see those little lines. And sometimes what I like to do is to create a little bit more depth in my paper. I will just drag it to this tool here. And what it does is it creates a second layer, exactly the same as the one before. And this second layer, how about we use a little bit of lighting? And so I think I'm going to use the color bird. And now you see our lines are more in depth. And so we're going to close that layer. And I've got this funky, edgy overlay. It's got a little bit of grunge going for it and real dark edges. And it's from my Getting Edgy 7 series. And we're going to drag that in. Now, I think I want to get this to be white. So we're going to use the linear dodge. And so it's created some white in there. So you've got a little bit of depth and warmth to your page. Now, I want a little bit more grunge. So this is from my Getting Grunge 12 series. We're going to add that. I know I keep adding all these crazy layers, but what you're doing is by adding each one of these different overlays, you're creating depth to your paper. And I think on this one I want to do vivid light. I want to give it some edge. And we'll close that last one. And this is our final overlay. This is like a painted edge, and it's from my Getting Edgy 7 series. So let's add this edge. And let's close this. And I think the painted edge like that is just way too dark. So we're going to play with it a little bit. I think I'm going to go with a vivid light, and I'm going to take my fill down. So what it's doing, it's created almost like a chalked edge, almost. And let's tone down the opacity a little bit so that you can still see the bright colors. So finally, we've got our paper, and I want to do one more thing that I think will be fun. I'm going to add a brush, and I've got plenty of brushes going on here. Let's put this little heart in here. So we're just going to put that a couple times on our new layer. And let's blend that in with a little light. I think we're going to have to color burn it, or actually we're going to have to multiply it to get it some depth there. And I'm going to drag the opacity a little bit. And I'll put in some text. And in this case, I'm using a font called PNG. And let's see here. The heart. Nose. No. So we're going to highlight the text, and we're going to go down to about a 48. Let's see if we can get it on the page here. It's still a little large, so we're going to reduce it down so we can get the Heart Knows No Boundaries font text here. And how about it would be nice not to have typos in there. Great thing about Photoshop, you can always fix anything until you flatten it or you delete it. So here we go. The Heart Knows No Boundaries, and I'm going to change the opacity, and I'm also going to give it a little bit of blending here. So let's try linear burn, and our fill will go down just a teeny bit so it blends it into the paper more. So there we've got our little fancy paper. It took us all of a few minutes to create, and we've got a custom paper using all of those beautiful overlays. And my last step I usually do is I do Control-Shift-E, and that compresses all the layers together. And there you go. You would save it as a JPEG and with a high resolution, and there you've got a custom paper that you made using overlays. One of the other steps that I like to do is when I have a paper that I want to use for a layout and the colors are just not right, I'll use a Command U, and you just play with the hue and saturation. And in this case, I want to give it a little bit more edge here. Pull up the saturation of it and give it more depth. So there's my final paper, The Heart Knows No Boundaries. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on making custom paper. If you have any questions, you can email me at royanna@divinedigital.com. Have a great day. We hope you've enjoyed this Divine Digital tutorial series. For more information, visit us at www.divinedigital.com.